Welcome back. In this bitterly divisive election, there is one place that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump agree on. U.S. trade bureaucracy needs a makeover. Watch.
American trade policy is currently mismanaged by dozens of competing bureaucracies spread across the departments of Agriculture, Commerce, Labor, State, Treasury. In my administration, all trade policy making will be consolidated into one very important office.
Trump proposed a consolidated Office of Trade yesterday, while Clinton says she would like a special trade prosecutor that would protect the U.S. workers from unfair practices in other countries. Joining us right now is political economist Andy Busch. Andy, good to see you.
Thanks.
What do you think in terms of these proposals? What's better for American business?
Well, I think there's something that needs to be done here. I mean, there's a disadvantage that the U.S. has, I think, because of the current structure. We're really not going after bad trade policies that are occurring that are hurting American businesses, but there's a way to do it through the WTO, and there's a way to do it with what Donald Trump is proposing and Hillary Clinton. And Donald Trump's plans, we were just kind of joking before, he has some just fantastic tax reform plans, which I really love, that generate a lot of economic growth. But his trade policies are just off the charts bad. And when you look at Citigroup or Moody's or the Peterson Institute, when they look at his policies overall, that's where they say the problems are.
But do we really know the policies at this point? I mean, yes, he's talked about unfair trade deals and that he wants to redo deals that are not advantageous to America. But then he walked back a 45% tariff. He walks back tariffs all the time. So do we really know that that's what he's going to do? I understand tariffs are a bad thing.
Right. I mean, let's talk about what he said. 35% on Mexico, 45% on China. Redo NAFTA, walk away from 20 free trade agreements and step back from WTO. You have to take him at what he says, because during the debates, he hammers on trade. And I've been on and talked with a lot of different conservative Republicans, and some of them were saying, well, he hasn't really said much. Then he gets on the debates and he hammers that point. So I would say take him at his face, and that's what you have to believe. And this is really, really bad. That's not what this country needs for growth.
Well, we are the world's second largest exporter, and we cannot go marching around saying that we are going to make all these really rigid rules against the things that we import, and controlling our own companies and controlling where our companies can go to try and deliver products at a lower price. We already are facing a very difficult global trade environment. We need to be continuing to grow our exports. We cannot make it harder for our businesses to earn a dime.
Right, and on the other side, Hillary Clinton, who, as Secretary of State, worked for TPP, now is against it, right? So we don't really know what she's going to do, and so that's, again, it's just a negative.
You can be, like I was saying, you can be concerned about what Donald Trump is saying, but with Hillary Clinton, you don't know which Hillary Clinton that we're going to be dealing with, so you don't even know to be concerned or not, because you don't know what you're going to get.
Well, she was for NAFTA under her husband when he was president. Then she was against it, and then she was behind TPP. She gave dozens of speeches promoting it, called it the gold standard, and now she's against it. So,
well, I think the problem with all trade agreements is that there's winners and losers. Overall, the economy wins, but you'll have losers like in the light truck area. But for what I am astonished is with TPP, that is a huge win for American farmers because you get access to Japan. I don't understand why those trade groups aren't coming out and saying we are for this agreement, we need to have it, especially in Iowa during the Iowa caucuses. I really don't understand that. But Hillary's got some bad things too. I mean, exit tax on companies, fair share tax. We don't know what these things are. But they're not going to help grow the economy.
She straight up gets, the debate, she gets up there and straight up says, yeah, I'm going to raise your taxes, I'm going to take your money. But
she says it right
nobody focuses on that. They focus on whatever outlandish statement that Trump made during the debate, and it's like, never even happened.
That's right. I mean, Hillary's plan about raising taxes, how does that lead to economic growth?
Yeah, it doesn't. You get less of whatever you tax, right? And that's the problem, less growth for sure. And I think right now we're running at a 1.4%, slow GDP number. Next year is really where I get very concerned because we're going to have Brexit by the end of the first quarter. We need to know what Clinton's policies are going to be, or Trump's when they come in, depending on who wins the election. And right now, the only person, if Trump walks away from the trade policies, he's not going to get elected. But if he actually comes out and talks about his business reform, tax reform, economic reform policies, that will energize not only the base, but a lot of people who want to grow the economy, a lot of businesses. And that's really where you get growth. It's not individual tax cuts. It's really on the corporate side.
And cutting all that red tape. I mean, that's the #1 problem that businesses cite, is that there's too many rules and regulations, and it makes it too darn hard to start a business or grow a business.
That's probably one of the best parts of his plan. rolling back of regs.
And he doesn't talk about it.
No.
It's just maddening. I mean, we're throwing things at the television, for numerous reasons. But I mean, it's like, come on, Donald.
Well, he just it's rigged in the media. It's like, stop it.
Just go through your 4 points of your plan.
Election 2016 is more about personality than policy. Let's get to the policy.
Well, the debate was about policy.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Thanks to Chris Wallace.
For sure.
Chris Wallace did a fantastic job of just to talk about herding cats.
No doubt. And I think that's what was exciting. But too little, too late, perhaps. I mean, it would have been great. Trump had a lot of opportunities during the debates, a lot of openings to go after this, because this is Clinton's weakest point. Her policies are all over the map. Basically, she raises taxes from corporations to spend on social spending. That's not really going to generate a lot of growth.
Yeah, which is why she keeps trying to take him off of message, because the plan is actually a good message. Andy, good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Andy Busch joining us there.